Welcome to Crash Course Hockey. I'm your host, Corey Heon. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 4. Myself, Corey Heon, along with Joe Coombs, head coach of the NA Rhinos. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you, man. My hair okay?
Yeah, man.
Everything all right? Okay.
You look good, but I got to say something. You smell even better.
I know. I have a Whataburger cologne all over me here. I knew it. Get your juices flowing. So
Yeah, no, it certainly got me going when you walked in. I was like, God dang, dude, where'd you eat, man? I was like,
made you
thanks.
hungry. I didn't even call anybody either. I was just like, Brownie, you want a milkshake?
Oh yeah, Mr. Yeah.
Hey, they don't have lettuce wraps at Whataburger, so
or
he
rice
got a
cakes.
milkshake today.
Yeah. Diet milkshake. But you know, honestly, you do smell pretty good.
Thanks,
That Whataburger's
Yeah,
delicious.
I know it is.
Selfish.
What a burger.
Yeah.
What a name, right?
It is.
What a name. What a burger. So I was standing in line there this morning. Well, not standing, but I was sitting, and they have a store called What a Store.
Copycat.
Oh, well, I thought it was pretty unique.
So when I first came down here,
Uh-huh.
back in whatever 97 and 97. So
When Christ was a cowboy.
there you go. Yeah. When Kojak was a hippie.
The beachcombers.
Back when you had hair. But so we do our thing Friday, Saturday night, and we'd always get the hunger about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we go to Whataburger, and they had these, because in Canada, you know, all you have is A&W and Hardee's and that kind of stuff. But they have these taquitos,
Oh, yeah.
right? The taquitos, you get the taquitos after 11 o'clock and the French fries. Oh, my God.
El Cometa.
Yeah, that's a pretty good place, too.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that turned me on to that.
Yeah. That's always packed.
Oh, yeah,
right by my house,
4
it's
o'clock in
always
the
packed.
morning. You've been there a couple times, eh?
Been there a couple times. It's close to the house. But honestly, like, there's nothing that beats A&W.
Nothing.
And I appreciate you thinking about me the one time when you're back home in the summer.
Oh, I tried. I called stores from Alberta to Ontario. No whistle dogs, man.
My favorite for
No
those
Whistle
people
Dogs.
that really want to care or want to know is Whistle Dogs. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's A&W, not the American version, but the Canadian version. Hot dog split in the middle, grilled, relish, onions, mustard, cheese,
Pickle.
toasted, but no,
pickle.
there's no pickle, just the relish. And it's unbelievable. I could eat that daily.
Yeah.
It's probably not
Yeah.
a good thing.
Probably not.
But you know the closest thing to it here is Five Guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good hot. Yeah.
But
that's
it's
good
like
hot dogs.
$19 by the time you get out of there with a
know
like
for
a
a hot
hot
dog.
dog and a drink. It's like, huh?
I'm a Harvey's guy back home. I can't drive by one. Like, we literally, my family they laugh because it's 7 pickles too. So it's a burger with 7 pickles, and the pickles literally they can't even get the wrap to close it. Like, it's just so big, but
It's pretty good though.
it is. Yeah, it's pretty good.
But now that I'm starving, the weekend, Joe, pretty good. You know, 3 out of 4 points this weekend. Barn burner on Friday.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. We'd been 13 days, right? 13 days or 12 or 13 days
Been a bit.
between games. And I'm a believer as a coach that, 12 days between games and September 1st is one thing. But as your season goes on, you can certainly break your team down and demand way too much, way too soon. In a course of preparation that long. So it's, 3 or 4 days worth of just fun and, keeping them interested, but at the same time working on their skill sets and then getting back to work the week before. But I was concerned, and Corpus, they won 4 straight, and then they got swept, and then they won a couple more, and I knew they'd been playing better hockey.
Well, they're 4, 5, and 1 in the last 10.
Yeah, like they're coming around. They're big.
Yeah,
and
big
they
team.
could really skate.
Yeah.
And so I was a little concerned about us, and I thought our first 7 or 8 minutes on Friday night was really good. We weren't moving the puck to one another the way we normally would, but you could tell it was there.
Yeah.
We were just a day late and a dollar short, which that's what 12 days will do to you. You're just not sharp. So at the end of the first period, that's what we told them. Hey, like, your energy's good. Let's clean some things up and get back to it. Well, then as the game wore on, we just progressively got worse and worse. We didn't get better. And we got the first one, or no, we tied it up, right?
Tied it up.
Tied it up, and usually a goal for our team, and most any team, really gives you a big lift. And, at that point in time, and then we just kept turning pucks over, and we didn't manage it well. And then, made a really bad play in overtime, and, took a penalty, and 12 seconds after the penalty, it was in our net. So, all props to them. They came in extremely prepared. I thought we were too, but I guess we weren't.
Well, you look leading up to overtime, up to overtime in the third period. I think there was 2 golden opportunities where we slid the puck through the crease, and it's like, how do you miss that? But that's easy for an armchair quarterback sitting outside looking at the. You know what I mean? It's
no,
easy.
that's fair. We could say that we played the game.
75 goals in Pup A, buddy.
I wouldn't have missed that goal. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I would have buried it.
Oh my God! I would have put it right through the net.
Yeah.
But it's different today with some of these guys, but anyway, we we're now 9-0-1 in our last 10, and if you would have told me that a long time ago,
right.
So I wasn't too flustered as long as we kept getting better, we kept getting better, and we didn't. So we brought him in Saturday morning, which we normally do, and we got after it Saturday morning with some video, and we got after some. Well, I should say not we. I should say I. I don't think too many people would want to claim me getting after a couple guys, but I did. I thought that we really went after who I think is the best defenseman in the league, and Jacob German.
He's awesome, good player.
He's one of the best players in the league, and he has his moments where, like Friday night, that was by far the worst game he had played in a Rhino uniform easily, and then
he comes back on Saturday,
scores a goal, and
So we talked about him before.
Yeah.
Like if
he's
that's
a special
one
kid.
every 10 games or whatever, it is what it is, right? Like any player, like you'll take.
Oh yeah, you'll take the
day.
9 good ones
You'll
and the
take
one
that
bad
any
one.
day,
And
'cause
it just wasn't like him, and then a couple other guys that we sat down and did some video and saw, hey, we can be a lot better here. And then I liked our game for the most part. I didn't think Saturday night we did a great job of getting to those second and third chances. With those big goalies, a lot of time they're going to stop the first one, right? Yeah. It's the second and third one where they need some athleticism.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He's a goalie. And I didn't think we got there, but we stuck with it. And then we got a break.
Yeah.
Then Torrey Lund came alive. I mean, 2 shorthanded goals and
backhands.
2 backhand shorthanded goals in the same
shift.
Same kill. Yeah. Went out and scored. Was off about 20 seconds. Went back out.
I wonder if that
is a record.
A stat in its own.
Should be
right. 2 shorthanded goals by the same guy, same kill,
and that close together.
Right.
Like wow.
And on the back end.
Like how I never even looked at the score sheet. How close was it?
As far as shots?
No. Like when he scored his first one to his second one.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up.
I don't. It wasn't over a minute. Was it over a minute?
I don't think it was.
I don't. I'm going to say about. I'm going to say 35 seconds.
You're probably close to being,
give or take,
being right on that. Let me see if I can pull up the stats as we go along here.
But no, I thought we were better Saturday. You're dealing with kids, and we're gonna have 10 or 12 guys play well most nights, and then you're always gonna have a handful that play okay and a handful that don't. And my job and our job, and through preparation and trying to, is to get everybody on the same page, and to be the very best when it matters the most, which is, I don't know, April 15th or whatever, when we start our playoffs, and that's our goal. And there's some days that's really hard to do. Well, they make me feel like it is, and really Saturday was just about like, let's get back on track here. Like we had played really good. I mean, New Mexico's a good team. We had played them 6 times, but we had played well for, at the end of the day, 17 days. Yeah. We played 9 games in 17 days. So it wasn't a real drawn-out process where we'd been playing well for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. And that's where we need to get to, So Friday night, I understood. Saturday night, we were better. But this week is about, we got a big test coming in here this week.
Shreveport coming in.
Yeah.
Soup does a good job.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Yeah.
So we're going to be really prepared. We've already watched, this morning. Brownie watched yesterday, but I watched the full game.
Well,
this morning.
They win? They won 2-1, lost 2-1.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, we watched Friday night's game. Dan Wildfong called me this morning, and I said, "What game did you guys play better?" And he said, "Friday night." So we just watched Friday nights, and it wasn't the most exciting game to watch, but very big, strong teams that that compete and check well, and our players are certainly going to get that message this week.
Soup doesn't usually start coming around until deadline.
Yeah, that's very true.
And he's there already. Mm-hmm. He's always got a solid team, big team, and it'll be interesting for sure. A good test. But our third period on Saturday, that was probably one of the better periods I've seen in a long time. Yeah,
well, and they stuck with it. I think we scored 4 goals, right? And we had a TV timeout about 9.5 minutes left, and I had said to the players, we're still too careless with the puck.
Yeah.
We're trying to score more goals, which I want to do that, but I want to do it within how we want to play. I said, guys, they have to come at us.
Yeah.
They have to take risks. Their D have to be more aggressive. By us playing the right way, we're going to get chances just because of the way they have to play.
Yeah.
Let's not us be high risk. We got 4 goals. We got enough to win. Yeah, I want more, but let's get more by doing it the right way. And there was a few minutes there, we were just too risky. Because again, it's lessons that we have to keep building on for April, right? Like they're going to have to understand situations that we get into, and like one of the things this week that we learned last time we played Lone Star, that was a good hockey game that Friday night against Lone Star. Then the Saturday night, it was like they were very comfortable saying, well, we can beat these guys. And then we lost 3 straight to Lone Star, where Lone Star's a good team, but are they that no? Right. So
it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so they have to realize, hey, whatever happens on Friday night, whether we're good, we stink, we lose a close one, doesn't matter. We have to continue to play Saturday. And that's really the message that is being delivered since September, but is that consistency button, because the team, from what we've seen so far in the South Division this year, is the team that's most consistent is gonna win this thing.
I tell you, like even Colorado, they've gotten 8 wins, so they should surpass 10, 12 maybe. But you look at the rest of the teams, like Odessa, they're 3-7 in their last 10. Oklahoma's 6-3-1 in their last 10, so they're starting to come around.
Yeah.
You got New Mexico 6-4, so everyone's really over 500 mark. Mm-hmm. And it's somebody asked me on Saturday night, man. It's like we had some buddies that come.
Yeah,
they came to, like, guys that I used to play with and ref with, but they came to the game on Friday night or last weekend, I should say, to see the NA3, and they're like, man, this is great hockey. I said, well, you need to come next weekend too, just because it's just different. It's just different. So when they came, they're like, holy cow. And he goes, man, like, is it really this close in this division? I'm like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I said, the team that's going to win it is whoever's consistent. And that's the thing. You look at the top 4 teams, looking at the standings now, Joe, 9 points from fourth to first place.
So when I sit at home and I think about all this stuff and think about these things on a daily basis, is I'm never going to walk in there and say, guys, this is the most important game of our season.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're putting such an onus on that result. Yeah. And it's not about that. It's about every game is important, and we just keep growing and getting better. But however, I'm sitting there last night, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I want to be in top 2 spots.
Of course you do.
And I really want to win. I don't want to, and here's the reason. I don't want to play a plan. Because those teams, whether we're 3rd or 6th or whatever we're at, they're good. Mm-hmm. And they could win. Well, you know what I mean? It's not like, like if one plays 6, right, one should win, like, let's face it, 95% of the time.
Right.
But when 3 plays 6,
right,
it's not that far apart.
No, and it's
so not. I'm not certainly putting any more onus on Friday night's game than any other, but players have to realize what's going on around them, and our process has to just continue to grow. And these weeks off are tough to get through, but it was a good start. I certainly,
3 out of 4 ain't bad coming off.
I talked to Klutz too, and I complimented on how much better. Last year they had 22 5'7" skilled players, and this year they got a nice mix. And I was really surprised at how well some of their bigger kids skated. That was
they're big, they're physical, they move the puck well, they do a lot of things right, and they're not a whatever.
No.
They're not a 8th place team. That's for darn sure.
They're not.
They're not.
And by the sounds of
if
it,
you're looking at the standings, and we just kind of addressed all that, they're not.
no.
But they do have some bad luck. I will tell you
Yeah.
that their bus broke down, so they had to stay over Saturday night too. So before the game, their athletic trainer came up to. He's like, "Hey, is there any chance we can get hotel rooms?" Actually, Cass called me first. I'm like, "Yeah, if you have any problems, call me." So he called the hotel, and then the athletic trainer got involved, and so they were able to stay. Something happened with their bus; it's still in our parking lot. And then Sunday morning we had high school game, so I was down here and I was talking to their captain. I'm like, "Hey," because they were picking up their gear, they left it over, and they finally got a charter. So they took off Sunday morning, but their bus is still here. I talked to Cass through text this morning, and he's like, "There's no update. We're trying to get it off property, get it serviced." So, but it sucks. And people ask us, "Why don't we have our bus anymore?" Well, there you go.
It's perfect. When you're an independent like that, when you don't have a bus company, who's going to fix your bus? Yeah. Like if that thing's still sitting there, chances are a bus company's going to take care of their own buses. Before
so you're going to have about a $3,000, $4,000 bill just for that, and then you just gained another $6,000 for the charter, and you just paid. Are there pros to it? Absolutely, having your own bus, 110%. But it's times like this, unless that bus is 5 years old, and this one isn't. It's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
We've lived it, we've dealt with it, and it's nice.
Yeah, we 2013, 14, we had 17 trips from where I coached to wherever it was. It's 17 total trips. Bus broke down 15 times.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I kid you not. I'm not lying. 15 times. Yeah.
So during COVID, we were in Odessa for I think 6 weeks because Odessa, there's really no rules there, and we were allowed to. we skated there. We stayed in the host hotel, and we had ice, and games were scheduled, and it was always don't hold your breath too long because they're going to cancel that game as we're loading the bus to go, because that was our home base, so we travel wherever. So there was one day we were getting ready to go, and bus is ready, we're going, and we just get on the bus. I get a call from the league. "Sorry, man, game's canceled. Somebody's got COVID on there," whatever. So they canceled. Off the bus, talk to the hotel, we stay. So we didn't have another game for like 3 or 4 days. So our bus driver was going to do some maintenance on the bus, and there's some electrical issue. And they set us up good because we're in the back, and those barns or whatever, and we had a cool setup, really cool setup. They took care of us. And our driver, Troy Regier, he's like MacGyver, true MacGyver, retired special forces, only guy in Rhino country that's allowed to wear his hat on backwards to a team event. You know what I mean? Just this guy. So he's into it for 3 days. He's got the whole back end, all the electricals out, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll get her back together. Well, we're leaving the next day. And I was like, "Troy, this bus better be ready to go because we're finally going to be able to play. Yep. And you cannot tell me that this bus isn't ready." So luckily we weren't going too far, and he stayed up all night, and we were actually checking out of the hotel. So we had to and we were there for 6 weeks.
They had to get everything.
So I said, "You just stay there." And he and I roomed together. So I'm like packing this, like, it's a nightmare having your own bus. It really, really is because of the headaches, but it's also convenient for what it is. But I don't miss those days. Not in the least bit.
No, and that's understandable.
You just worry about the bus driver showing up on time.
Yeah.
Which
it
been
takes,
good.
Yeah,
so.
it takes a lot of the stress out for sure.
For sure. But I know Sherm's not here. He wanted to be here. We tried to patch him in, but he's catching a flight. But he had a decent weekend, 3 out of 6 points in Louisiana.
So what happened Friday night? I didn't talk to him until yesterday. So
they lost in a shootout.
Friday night shootout?
Friday night shootout. They got pumped Saturday, and then they came back and won in a shootout yesterday.
What was the final yesterday?
3-2, I think.
3-2?
Yeah.
All right. No, I talked to him before the game yesterday. I didn't talk to him. I haven't talked to him since.
So he's traveling right now, but 3 out of 6 points. They still. I think we're in 3rd place now in NA3, but that's so close. Like that's closer than this division.
Too. Yeah.
But good weekend for him overall. So as far as points wise, so good for him.
Where are they going in next week?
Austin.
Oh, they got 3 there. Yeah. That's right.
They'll get back late tonight. Probably they'll skate tomorrow, Wednesday. Then they take off Thursday. They'll leave Thursday for Austin. Play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come back, and then I think it's Atlanta the following weekend, if my math is right.
They're back on the airplane?
No, bus and
Somebody, so Dr. Sharp came in today. Did they have some rescheduled games or some added games?
Yeah, so there's one that's going to be rescheduled, and we're sitting at for Mid Cities because of the weather.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Oh, that's the only one. Okay.
Well, no, pardon me. There's another one because with Mid Cities as well that they had to reschedule for something which was an easy fix for us. So that's going to be, I think, the last weekend of March, I think, or February. Sorry, so last week, whatever. It's rescheduled.
The weekend we're off.
Yeah, and then we're still working on the Sunday game that was canceled. I thought we had it worked out this morning, but I haven't heard back yet. So.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of changes both with you guys, and you guys are going to go to Odessa January 29th, 7 p.m. start.
So, yeah, this Sunday.
Frankie and the Blankie's birthday.
Is it really Frankie
is,
and Blankie's birthday? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No wonder he was so upset. I yelled at him the other day, and I literally did. I had to yell really loud at him because I was 48 feet away from him, and I put it on the board at the bottom of the board, and I just said, hey, this game's rescheduled. And I could hear him from the other side of, like, literally, like, the arena be like, he was mad. He hates, sorry, Odessa, but Frank hates coming there. He hates your team. So he starts screaming, and it's at 5 o'clock. I'm like, Frank, do we have bigger things to worry about? I said, put that on the board for information, not for an opinion. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Frankie
and the Blankie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his birthday. I was informed on Saturday night that it was his birthday. So Frankie's going to turn 21 in
I'll tell you
Odessa,
what,
Texas.
you know,
maybe he can finally score a goal up there.
I'm going to miss Frank.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah.
Herm loves him because he helps coach
Oh, I
with
know.
the 6 years.
I know.
Says
He was all rattled the
amazing
other day.
with
He
the
came in.
kids.
He said, "Hey, coach, I just saw all this stuff on the board here that our players got to do." He goes, "I'm already taken. I'm coaching with Herm." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but you can help arrange the other guys," which he always does. You know,
just because you're.
But I am. I really like Frank. Frank's entertaining, in so many ways. He's such a good kid.
Yeah.
And
We got to get him on. We'll get Frankie.
Yeah.
Because he'll be a character.
Yeah, he's
talk
not,
about his
he's not
turtleneck.
afraid.
We can talk about a lot of different
things. Yeah, we talk about a lot of things. Yeah,
A lot of things.
Frank's a good kid. Frank's a really good kid. We got a lot of good kids, but Frank's personality-wise, you'll hear him. I always have to go out. Some days I go out and check, make sure he's here, because 95% of the time he's there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if he's quiet or
Diarrhea of the mouth.
yeah, it's like something's wrong. Is Frank here today?
The gift to gab, that kid. But, it's hilarious because he's always
Pleasant.
He's an intelligent kid.
Very.
And he's got an opinion on pretty much everything. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it's not. But I could see him one day being like a politician of some sort, mayor maybe, just because of his personality. I think he's hilarious. I really do.
Yeah.
I could just see him doing something.
Oh, he's in sales or something. He's a people person. Frank's, I mean, he's within reason.
He just tells you what you want to hear too, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Great.
That's why a politician's probably up on his.
Yeah.
Nah, but he's a great kid. And
Yeah.
he's well liked, and kind of leads us into the next thing about our contest winner. I know we're going to do a different segment on that, but Sherry Morris, his billet is actually the contest winner. She's the one that won the contest
For the crash, or for what?
No, when we had a contest last week, and we're announcing it today, obviously right now. When were the Rhinos founded? Do you know?
The original? Yeah, I do know.
Is that the year that we beat you? Throw that out there, Mister.
Okay, so
let's
clarify.
Let's bet lunch here.
Okay, but tomorrow lunch.
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right,
We're
I'm good with
not
tomorrow.
going
I already
to steak
ate.
either.
I already ate.
We'll go to Whataburger.
Whataburger? Okay.
Can you eat Whataburger
Okay,
3
so-
days in a row? We go to Roscoe's, but I don't know if they've repaired
They're
it.
not open
That's
yet.
terrible.
I asked you. I know. Okay, but here's my question. I need some clarification.
Sure.
Are you talking about any Rhino, like any Rhino hockey, or are you talking about junior hockey?
Junior hockey.
0304.
No. 2006. I think that's what we went with, right?
Okay, so then no.
No, it's
So
2006.
clarify for me, and because this is important to me, it's really important to me to know and understand the history of wherever I've ever coached, wherever I've played. So in 0102, Was that youth hockey Herm started?
I don't think it was that early.
So it was,
we're in the other building for a couple
and then he
years.
lost it. So it was August of 03-04? Like
It could have been, but I'm not. Our youth program started a year or two earlier. Yes.
Yeah, so that's where I thought.
Don't
'cause
try
I
to.
thought it
Don't
was-
try to.
No. I'm
still
wrong.
lost.
Hey,
$20 cheeseburger because I'm
buy
getting
you-
a
in
triple.
fact, you're getting a triple. I was going to say, I'll buy you a double. Triple? I'll get you that too. You eat them
Probably
both. I'll
probably
get two
get
of
one
them.
to go. we didn't put any rules on this,
No, he didn't. He just said no steak.
but we're gonna go there
Yeah, okay.
and really smell up the joint.
Oh, yeah.
Because you do smell good.
I know. Dr. Pepper milkshake. You know, that on the side.
Did you bring Jay with you?
Today?
Yeah.
No, Dr. Sharp went home. He's not feeling well today.
Oh, that's right.
And he's coming back to work at 4 o'clock or something, but he said, I'm going home.
You want to bet on that?
You want to buy lunch on Wednesday?
He was up here. I don't feel very good, man. My belly, my head, my belly. I was like, dude,
Dr.
you
Sharp.
look like a truck driver.
No, I know.
You know, he's all belly.
Dude, we were talking about
He comes up here. He's like, I'm like, Jay, tonight can you do this? But I need you to do this. Yeah. He's but man, I'm not feeling good.
Jay's awesome.
I was like, what's wrong, Jay? I don't know, man. I got a cough. You know, my belly's fine.
We were talking this morning.
He's
We were
awesome.
talking this morning about his shark teeth. Like, no, we were
Which one?
like,
The one that comes out?
Like I said, Jay, like if you're eating out like normal, like I said, do you just And he said, but if you're really hungry and want to make a point to people, do you take yours? They look like
He's just like this. It's like, all right.
I love Dr. J.
And then he's like,
Dr. J.
have you ever seen him put the glue on it?
Oh yeah, right in his pocket. He puts in his thing. He puts it like that.
He just looks
He
around.
covers up the. Jay, it's
we're
just
gonna
there's more respect for Jay and,
He's
and our
amazing.
players, and please don't think we're just teasing him, but he's
It
unbelievable.
goes
human being.
all ways
Yeah,
because
he's an unbelievable
he-
human being. He'd do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
And
his sense of humor is.
yeah. Oh, for
I
sure.
remember when we first hired him.
I
so-
heard the story from him the other day.
Yeah, man. So we I don't know. It was summertime. And we're putting the ice back in. Back then we had like a sheet, like a vinyl that we'd put on the ice, and then we'd have to put about 385 pucks out there because of the bubbles, and we keep it was just a horrible process. So we got Jay in, and he's working with us, and he's how he's just happy-go-lucky kind of guy, and he's working with us, and I'm like, this guy's goofy as all goofy can be, but he's so likable.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And works really, really hard. And that was, I don't know, that was the summer that I actually came on full time. So
8 years ago.
he's been here as long as like on paper, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's been here. And so he first started, helped us get the ice, and then he went MIA. And we
You're
couldn't
trying to
get
get him
hold
back
of
to
him.
work. Yeah,
Well, he was
yeah.
in the hospital with a coma.
He was in a coma 4 days.
Yeah. Something to do with his teeth. No, I'm not taking a shot there, but
No, he had 18 teeth removed
Yeah. And
because of something that was wrong in his jaw.
And
I heard the story the other day. That's why.
and then he shows up.
That's why they're all fake. That's why we tease.
That's why we tease him.
Yeah, they're not.
And then when he comes back, I'm like, dude, where you been? He's like, man, I was in the hospital. My belly. But yeah, so what a story.
Yeah, he's
Like,
unbelievable guy. He's absolutely unbelievable guy.
If you're ever in a bad mood,
Hang out with Jay.
call Dr. Sharp.
Yeah, that's why. That's honestly, he's such a big part of our team and in such a positive way that there's no shut off valve. So like he's like you said that Troy was allowed to wear his hat backwards.
Yeah.
Well, Jay's the only one that's allowed to keep his phone on. Right.
Well, yeah.
So he's got 14 kids. Right. So he's got a real responsibility.
He does.
He really does.
I think he has
and
seven.
that kid's
Seven or
like,
eight.
he calls his kids every night, every one of them. Like, hey, I love you. Good night. Right? We're on the road. But he has this doorbell that he won't shut off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. So the other day I was like, Jay, you can leave your phone on. You have a lot of responsibility, but enough with the doorbell ring. He was like, well, I don't know how to shut it off. So meanwhile, now the wind. So he's got 14 kids plus the wind on this doorbell. So you can hear this phone. It's literally, it plays its own music all day long.
It's true. Like you don't know if it's his wife calling, the doorbell, one of his middle kids. It's
something. I don't know how he keeps track of it all.
but he's just
And he's got
if anybody-
technically he's got 23, 24. We have 24. The other team's got 24, 25.
yeah. So he's got about
He's got
60
like
on a daily
67
basis when
kids.
there's a game day. But like,
at least 60.
I've worked with him since whatever, 2017. Let's just call it. And I honestly don't know if I've ever seen him in a bad mood.
Me neither. And I've been 2 years.
And
He's a good man.
he'll do anything for me.
And
He's
helpful.
just, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Just an amazing guy.
So we have fun with Jay, everybody. But if he was sitting here, we'd be saying the same thing. It'd be actually comical.
Oh, he'd be giving it right back.
Yeah,
No.
because he's a character. But Dr. Sharp.
Yeah.
But he'll be
Get
in
some
tonight.
rest, Doc.
He'll be in tonight. Maybe if he doesn't come in, that means I got to pull double duty. And
Oh.
yeah,
Huh?
I don't feel good either.
You know what? You're looking hungry.
But no, he'll
Hey,
be,
he's looking
he'll
hungry.
be here. But
All right, Whataburger tomorrow.
this weekend will be good. Shreveport, it'll be interesting. We'll have like the amount of people that were here on Saturday night. I was just like, please stop coming in. Like I told Herm, Saturday night after the game we were up here because Archie's out there ripping around and I said I don't think I've seen that many people in here before.
Wow.
There was a lot of people. And, we try to accommodate everybody and moving people around after the first period to get everybody situated, which I think the staff that we use does a really, really good job with that.
Yeah.
And, there's complaints here and there, but for what it is and what we do, I think for the most part it's good. So anybody that's listening, we appreciate your support as always, because it means a lot to these players when there's people in the stands and it's loud, like, because it's loud. It's loud. It's obnoxious for the visiting team, and it's just a great atmosphere. It really is.
Let me. I'll put it into a different term from the opposite side of playing in El Paso. Is we used to play. I coached in New York, and it was in Pennsylvania, and we would play Wilkes-Barre. And Wilkes-Barre had this arena that sat 300 people maybe. And it was probably the coldest arena, top 3 I've ever been in. And it was gray. And anyway, they got nobody to their game.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I don't speak ill of Wilkes-Barre. One of my best buddies was the coach there. They would get nobody. They didn't charge for tickets. It was awful. And we would go in there and we would say, guys, you have to create your own atmosphere. You have to create your own adrenaline. You have to create everything on your own. You're not getting any help because let's face it, you come out one night, you're not feeling great, you're a little flat. The fans can help you.
Oh yeah.
And that's ultimately what happens here in El Paso is these kids have no problems, home or away, getting excited to play hockey in El Paso. Mm-hmm. You go to Wilkes-Barre, and I can tell you right now, there's days I'll be like, really? We got to go back there again? Because it's just so hard to. So, from all respect to the fans here, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
I just like we have, and it's the same 10 people. They are here at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, lining up. I kid you not.
Every
It doesn't matter if it's cold, windy, raining, whatever. And lately it's been cold.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing here so early? Like, we don't open, and I always tell, and as soon as I walk out the door to do something, they're like, are we opening the doors yet? And it's like 4 o'clock. And it's a joke. It's a running joke. But,
maybe you should let them in once.
I let them in use the bathroom. That's good of me.
Yeah. I just didn't say then they wouldn't know what to do.
But no, it's just, but they're just awesome. They're here first. They get the same seats, and it's just die-hard
awesome.
loyal. It's awesome. So we have some great following, and we certainly appreciate that as an organization. Yeah. Players, coaches, fellow fans, whatever it is, it's an amazing place to be.
It's an amazing place to play hockey. We had a kid we recruited this weekend. His dad was he was an official, so he would have refereed. I know he did me as a coach. So he was 01. 01 was his first year, but he did 10 years in the minors, 10 years in the American League, 10 years and he was here and he just literally was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I said, it's an interesting place and he goes, I would never have perceived this if I had not had come. Yeah. And I'm like, that's what we tell everybody. We made a video last year that was the reason why this is a special place to play junior hockey. There ain't.
Oh, yeah.
We're out there. There ain't no doubt about that. You know, the South Divisions travel wherever you are in this division, so it doesn't matter. But of all the places in this division to play, I don't think any player or anyone's ever going to say this ain't the best.
And like we have an amazing billet family situation.
Yeah, Kelly or Muspa.
Yeah, Kelly and
big
Moose,
shout
like
out
we're
to-
like
Thank
she's
you.
been doing
Thank
it
you.
for
Thank you.
for a numerous amount of years, and I told her the contract that she has to do it as long as I'm still here. So she said, I don't remember.
So it's
doing
lifetime.
That. I said, yeah. So I told her, I said, just that you verbally told me that I don't need paper. She's like, I did. I'm like, yeah, you did. But so we've had the same amount of billets, you know, that have been doing it. We had the Moore family that, you know, Sherry and her husband, they do it. They're
Amazing.
awesome people, and it's so. But there's so many, and I don't want to say names because I'm going to end up forgetting somebody. But they do a great job. Our booster club, you know, just the support that we get, the stuff that you guys go on the road with, both the NA and A3 team. If I was back in the junior days, I'd
God.
want to probably play here.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'm not being biased because we're part of the organization, but realistically,
No, I mean, we've all played enough hockey games
yeah.
in a building that's empty. Let's just start there.
Sucks.
Finish and start there. It sucks.
Yeah.
And for these kids to come out every game, and yeah, we might start with it. The puck drop, there's 1,500, but by the end of by the 10-minute mark or the 5-minute mark, there's 3,000.
Oh, we announced a sellout on Saturday in the first period.
I didn't hear that. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
'cause
I knew there was a lot of people, but
You
it's
know,
awesome.
I usually stand outside and direct traffic a little bit until, you know, like I open doors at 6 and, you know, greet people. And I'm always out there talking with people and I usually come around about 7 o'clock just as, you know, the 5-minute ordeal when we get the rhino head off. Well, that's a big rhino head. But anyway,
Who bought that rhino head?
that's a big rhino head. It's an awesome rhino head.
A phenomenal rhino head. I just want to know who bought it and realized they were trying to shove a marshmallow in a piggy bank.
But, you know, so I come around there and I'm just looking. I'm like, there's a lot of people. And Herm's like, how is it? I'm like, it's busy. Because, both doors, there was probably 50 people, 75 people deep just to get in. And it was already half, 3/4 full. And I was like, man, this is brutal. Like, brutal in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, how are we going to do this? But we
get
always
everybody
manage,
in.
right? And, you know, it was...
The fire marshal ain't listening.
That's how, what do you mean?
What are you talking about, Willis?
But yeah, so we're blessed that way, and you know, hopefully we get the same turnout we did this past weekend against Shreveport because
they're going to see good hockey games this weekend.
We'll need it.
It's a great. They're good. They're really good, and I think we're 1 point ahead of them. I think right now. I think.
Well, Brahmas are in first with 59, 41 games played. We're in second with 51 points with 36 games played. And then Amarillo, 51, tied, I guess, if you will. And they've played 39, so with the percentage, we're...
Yeah, and Shreveport's played one more than us.
Yeah, and they're at 50, so it's so tight.
Yeah, it's so tight.
And then you look, New Mexico's, 7 points back and forth, so it's tight.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
100%. But it's going to be good. It's
No
gonna
time
be
to
really
take
good.
a weekend off, that's for sure.
No, we had that already, and the boys are having some fun today. They're on the golf course today.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and doing this because I know you're an avid golfer, even though you're a hack. I know you wanted to get on the course.
But you know what? I you know what? When we tried to,
You're pretty good at mini golf, I heard.
yeah. When we tried to do this, and I literally am like, if he's like going to say no, I'm 100% okay with this because I have a lot to do, and that's why I scheduled 9 holes. Was I was like, I'll go for 9. And then I'll come back and finish my work.
Yeah.
And then I walked in there today. I was like, hey, I only scheduled you guys all for 9 holes. And they're like, we're playing 18. I said, so you're telling me I got to cancel workout? And they're like, yeah, you're no workout either. So I called Christian and I said, hey, we're not working out today either. The guys are playing golf all day. So I was fine. They were going to play 18
Look
holes.
at you getting soft in your old age.
Yeah, I know, eh? Terrible.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, that's what.
But they haven't done anything like that. And we didn't arrange it last week when we didn't do anything,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. And you know why? It was cold. That's why we didn't do anything. It was a
Beautiful
week
out today.
now. It's unbelievable.
Last night was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Little overcast. I come into the rink. I was like, man, I should be wearing shorts.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be 63 today, 64 today, and they're in a cloud in the sky here. So
Yeah.
they're out
Beautiful.
having fun. So,
But I appreciate you, Joe, taking
Absolutely.
the time again
Thank you.
today. I know
Yeah.
this is a weekly thing, but I appreciate it. And, hopefully we have a 4-point weekend, good showing, good crowd.
wouldn't that be
everything.
good?
Yeah, man.
That'd be huge.
It's up to you.
Well, I get it.
Just throwing that
If you
out.
and I played, I think it'd be possible.
I'd get
but-
7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not warm up.
I
so
would
the
take
ga-
you and me versus Soupy and Wildfong all day long.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you?
When-
Are you a good passer?
Yeah.
Like 60 feet? Sauce, man.
75. Oh,
Is
yeah.
that, you know,
4 foot
I'm
sauce.
a blue line kind of north, center ice
yeah.
kind of north.
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Oh, yeah. 2v2. You and I versus Soupy. And
Yeah, man. You should throw it out there.
Yeah. Dude,
I don't know if
We'd have to
like-
start training because those two, they're still in pretty decent shape.
I
We
don't
might be
know.
biting off more than we can chew that.
Nah. I'm an athlete. I come up these stairs like it's nobody's business.
3 at a time.
Yeah, man. You ever seen it? I'm not the guy asking for a freaking wheel thing to get up here.
Oh, no. We need one of those carts attached to the wall to get up here.
I told that
18
to my wife the
stairs.
other day. She's like, "Are you gonna start working out?" I'm like, "I don't need to." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I come up the stairs,"
14 times.
and
a
I
day.
said, "I'm not out of shape. Like I'm not out of breath." I said, "But there's other people on our staff." This is true. I'm not lying to you.
I know you're not.
And I'm not saying it's you.
No, you're looking right at me. I get it.
But you know that they come up the stairs that are.
We had to
they're
start the
struggling a
show
little
3
bit.
minutes late today because I had to catch my breath.
The problem with me getting on the ice again, though, because I hate getting dressed. I hate putting my foot.
You're
in
out
the
of
skate.
breath tying your skates.
Yeah, man.
So
And I don't want to be that guy where the freaking loop goes on the inside. You know what I mean? On the top buckle there.
you don't have to undo them to take them off properly.
But
I
if I
never
could-
even thought about that. I'm gonna put some Vaseline in mine. Still,
If I could
just
rip-
slip
if
them in and out.
I'll just grab a pair of rentals with the buckles and sharpen them up real good.
Oh, they're good. They're
You get
good.
2 sizes too big. That way, that way your feet don't hurt.
Yeah,
You just can't take it off the ankle.
yeah. Oh no, we're not blocking anything. Anyway.
No.
Most goals win, man.
As long as we win the draw, we're good. It's a
this is
possession game.
Yeah, all day.
I'm all for it. You should probably throw that out there. I would.
We need a goalie who can handle the puck real well because I'm not sure either one of us. He might be defended in the corner too.
Well, that's your problem because I'll be out at
He'll
center.
be out there.
I'll be at center. But I
Playing
the
Rover.
guest this weekend or this week was Dominic Pittis. Was kind enough. I grew up playing with him. He played in the NHL. For,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know
so
him.
played great career. But we dated back ourselves when we were playing minor major Bantam.
So you grew up with him.
Yeah, well, yeah. He was. We kind of brought it up. He was a rich kid from the Northwest, and I grew up in the Northeast, which was where my family belonged. Just it was a good fit. So when we moved to Calgary back in I don't know, I think it was 88, 90, 80, something like that. The summer that the Flames lost when Smith put it off as goalie. Do you remember that?
Oh, the Flames won because Smith put it off. Yeah, but yeah,
But they lost. They lost. Did they win the cup?
80, no,
They
Montreal.
lost the cup. Yeah. So that was the year when Smith put it off as
80
goalie.
they
and
won,
Calgary.
Calgary won in '89,
Yeah.
and then Edmonton did again in '90.
So is it whatever year they won the cup? That's when I moved to Calgary.
Montreal won in '86.
So anyway,
So that was the year because Edmonton won. No, '87. No,
I can't remember. But it was that.
Yeah,
time. Anyway,
86, 87, 88.
somewhere
Yeah,
in
right there.
and played minor Bantam. I moved to Calgary, and they had like a 500 player tryout for the whatever 3 different teams. Like for AA, they didn't have AAA. In the Northeast, I was like 500 kids, and I was coming from Kamloops era when I was playing pup, like we've talked about, and then Dominic Pittis was on the Northwest, so I played against the minor Bantam, major Bantam. He and I were always going back and forth for scoring titles in the league.
Yeah,
Played AAA, same thing, and then he played 1 year AAA, and then he took off and played in the Dub
yeah.
for Lethbridge for 3 years, and I played another year midget, and then I kind of
What's
got
he
in a
doing
little
now?
bit of trouble, and he was much better than me anyway. You know what I mean? He was a bigger kid, just like great player.
Because he played in Calgary too, right?
He played Calgary, he played Edmonton, he played Pittsburgh, he played in Buffalo, and he was inducted in the Rochester Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Americans. And then he played
Is he living in Rochester?
No, he's so actually. Then when he finished playing North America, like in the AHL and in the NHL, he went over and played over in Switzerland for many years, and had a equally awesome career over there.
Oh, good.
And now he's the head coach and hockey director at St. Mary's in Stockton, California. That's how we got reconnected because he reached out to me last year about my daughter. He's like, "Hey, man,"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
like when I seen the name, I'm like, "There's no way," but he found what I do or
Yeah.
whatever, and saw my kid and said, sorry, dude, she's at Culver, but I said, I can help you out. So you and I'll have a conversation off air about possibly working with him.
Wonderful.
So, because we need somebody on the West Coast.
Yeah, we do.
So anyway,
Yes, we do. That's a good story.
Yeah, great
I'm glad.
guy.
I
great,
love. I
great
just hear
individual.
that people are
And
still doing okay.
Just he's an amazing guy, and he just cares so much about the game.
Yeah.
And even back then, like he was a good human. I didn't like him because he was better than me, and he was a
that's
rival,
normal.
and I'm sure he didn't like me either. But in that competitive way, I'm not saying is a
Yeah, it's respect.
Like,
it's
just-
then
but a
the
great
game's
guy,
over
and he's done wonderful things, and he had just an amazing career. So fortunate enough to have him on. So we'll get to listen to that. But
oh, good.
anyway, guys, go Chiefs. Our producers here are diehard Chiefs fans. Speaking of that, have you guys seen the clip on, what did you guys show me this morning on Instagram where the dude's blowing the fan over on the kick?
Yeah, so the guy's sitting on his TV with his buddies, and he gets a box fan, and he puts it to the left of the TV. So now it's going left to right. Well, the TV is the camera's behind the kicker. So when he missed it wide right, which in this guy
Which
put
way
his
is-
fan on. It was pretty good.
When I
It
saw
was
that, I
pretty
was like,
funny.
I almost pissed my pants.
You know what's funny is I grew up, I'm an hour from Buffalo from where I grew up, and I witnessed and went through 90 to 94 with the Bills. And then I moved to the U.S. My first place I lived for an extended period of time for 9 years was Kansas City. And so I'm very torn between the two teams. And yesterday, I don't know if I really ultimately cared who won or lost.
But
It was wide right, and I immediately texted one of my former players and our captain here, Colby Amici. I texted his dad, and I just went, wide right? Anyway, so I felt bad for I feel bad for the fans. Like, they're a good team. Does Kansas City deserve to continue? I mean, the best team usually wins, but I can't say that convincingly because it's not the best of seven. It's one
I really, really do not like Patrick Mahomes. I don't.
and he
don't
whines a lot. People
Oh
are
my
complaining
God,
that he whines all the
complains. Like, you could just see in his face. Wouldn't you complain if you looked like that? Like, I know you got more money than,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
but like it's just his outfit when he gets off the plane.
I get it.
Like, dude, you're at freaking 20 below and you got no socks on, bud. Like, really? I get it. It's probably a $10,000 gig, but
Yeah, the
outfit,
shoes are worth more than we make in a year.
maybe there's a little jealousy there. But,
Yeah,
but I don't like him because I think they showed a thing where when they played Buffalo earlier and they lost because of whatever the guy lined up on the offensive offside, right? Oh, they never called it. It always happens. Well, whether you were warned or not, it still happened. You lost the game. Blame it on whatever you want. But then they showed the clip where he was saying to the quarterback, what's his name? Who's the quarterback for the Bills?
Allen.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When he's terrible player or whatever.
Yeah. I remember.
Why
yeah.
would you say that? You lost.
I,
And then last night when he says this, he goes, "Oh man, Allen said positive things to him last night, right? Am I?
No, you're in the right. You're,
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, dude, go to the CFL, play for the Alouettes.
Go be Doug Flutie.
Anyway,
Warren Moon.
I'm
Doug Flutie.
not a
Who's the
I'm
other
not
one?
a Patrick Mahomes fan. I'm not.
Yeah, I you know what at the end they have to execute whatever play. He bitches and moans a lot. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
He bitches and moans a lot, and I don't like it either. But regardless of where he's throwing the ball from, he's getting it done. I would have liked to have seen Josh. I thought last night too that guy was not going to miss that kick, and the game wasn't exciting as the one previously. Remember, what was that 3 years ago? Like, that was one of the best NFL games you've ever seen, right? And this one wasn't going down that direction. And then I thought, oh wow, this is going to make this kick, and then we're gonna roll in overtime.
Yeah.
This is going to be exciting, and it never got there. So, hey, you know what? I think it's the Lions' year.
Who are they playing?
They got the 49ers. So I don't know. Baltimore's going to be tough.
I think Baltimore. It'll be Baltimore,
Baltimore
but
49ers.
it's going to be in just San Fran, right?
Well, according to that conspiracy theory, it's going to be, if you look at the actual logo, it's going to be Baltimore and 49ers, the colors. So it depends on the colors.
Oh God, are you one of those conspiracy guys? Of course you are. You're a
You had too much
Chiefs
free
fan.
time. I don't think the Chiefs got it to do it again. They're missing some components, I think.
I wouldn't mind seeing it because I think that whole Taylor Swift thing is kind of cool, and especially when Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce's up there yesterday with his
Dude,
shirt
what
off.
a good dude.
What a solid
Like for him to
individual,
go
man.
in there and blend in with those fans, like
He's
I'm
just a
from
dude.
He's just a good dude. Like,
I think
I know
Travis
the
is
one-
like that too.
I think the one guy yells, "What? There's no fan." Like if somebody else would have jumped out of the box and then back in, they would have been in trouble. You heard one of the fans say, "What? His own rules?" Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Travis. Yeah,
Yeah, uh-huh.
Jason
It
Kelce.
is.
It is. Like
Take your shirt off.
You're having fun, and he was right in there. I saw him before the game. He was out with the Bills Mafia. And I've been to a couple Bills games, and
Well, he
and,
takes his shirt off, grabs a little girl, and brings her so she can say hi to Taylor Swift or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
Yeah. Oh no, amazing. He's a big hockey guy. He's
Yeah,
got an
they
EP.
both
eh?
are.
Yeah.
Does he
got an
really?
EP. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come on.
And it's good too. I'm telling you right now. Look up Jason Kelce on an EP. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna right now.
He had
I didn't. He probably didn't have 75 in Pape.
no. He didn't have that many. He might have had 75 penalties.
I think you're full of baloney, Joe.
No, baby. We could bring him back here and he could play net front on the power play.
He could be our goalie
He could.
when we play Soupy and
Yeah.
Dan. 36 years old. 295, 6'3". No, it's got a little bit on you, Joe. Holy cow!
I don't know if his brother has better numbers or not because I know they both played.
So he played 4 years of high school.
Well, I really like those guys. I think they're very entertaining.
Got a point a game.
Yeah, and he played. He had
50
no
some
Division
pins.
One schools offered him
Wow.
for football. He was not a Division One. But
He's an assistant captain for Cleveland Heights High.
yeah, and then but they were talking the other day. If you guys had seen it about the best trophy in sports, did you guys see that? And they're like, okay, they looked at one and they said, 1, 2, 3, best trophy in sports. And Jason goes, Stanley Cup. And Jason goes, Lombardi trophy. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Stanley Cup. They're good dudes.
But Travis doesn't have as good numbers.
Oh,
He's on there, but there's dash. But
Yeah,
so
he
it's
was
not
probably
up there.
busy having a good time.
But good for those guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully they go well. And those two guys, I'm not again.
I think Jason's
Go
going to be
anybody
on
but the
TV, which
Chiefs.
I hope he does. He's a very entertaining guy, and he seems like a very, with what you see, he's a very good person.
Pretty down to earth, the whole family. So anyway, Joe, good luck this weekend.
Wonderful.
It's been a pleasure
Thank
again
you.
as always, and we'll do it again next week.
Right on.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
then.
Welcome, Dominic Pittis, everybody. He's our guest today's podcast, episode 4. Welcome, Dom.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate you having me on here. It's been a while since we.
It's been a minute, man.
But it's
It's been. I think the last time you and I were face to face was we were probably in minor bantam, actually no AAA midget.
yeah. The battle those that was no, you're right. And I mean those were it's funny, right? Because there's certain things you remember over your career, and I remember those battles like they were yesterday. They were
Right.
they were hard fought. There's no question.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember moving into Calgary back, I think it was whatever, in the early 90s. And then I fit right into the hood, the Northeast Calgary kind of deal. And you were on the other side of town, but we had some good rivalries. But, Dom, like your career, like you've been everywhere. You played minor pro, you played in the NHL, you played overseas. Now you're still involved. Give us a little history of your background and where you've been.
Sure. I mean, I grew up in Calgary, and went through their minor hockey system there, and then played, tier hockey through that. There wasn't a Western League draft at the time, and so you were listed, and so I was listed by the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and went on and played 3 years there, and was fortunate enough to be drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. And then, just was trying to stick in the NHL for about 10 years after that, and ended up getting some opportunity. I got some opportunity in Buffalo. My biggest opportunity was in Edmonton. I played a couple of years, signed a couple of years, one-way contract in Edmonton. So that was really cool. And then Nashville and Buffalo again. And then made a decision, and actually didn't really make. I mean, it was more just kind of out of a necessity to wanting to play because there was going to be the lockout. in I'm dating myself here.
Right.
2004, I guess it was. They missed the year, and so I had signed to go over to Switzerland, and then ended up staying the last half of my career, 9 years in Switzerland, which was amazing. It was a great league, and it was an opportunity to play all over the world and in different cups. They do it like soccer over there a little bit, where you play in different leagues, and so that was outstanding. And then again, fortunate enough to be able to. One of my last years, I had Bob Hartley as a coach in Zurich in the Swiss league, and then he got the Calgary job, and I retired shortly thereafter, and then was able to jump on with the Flames as a skilled coach, and then moved my way onto the bench for their minor league team in Stockton, California. And it's kind of how I ended up here. I was approached to start or help out with the hockey program as a director, and start a girls program and help with the boys program. And so that's where I'm at now at St. Mary's High School in Stockton, California, and trying to make this a go.
That's awesome. I remember, back in the years when we were younger, and when you went to the Western League, back when we weren't drafted, I remember I was listed with Seattle for the longest time. And then when the Red Deer Rebels came into play, my rights were traded there, and then got into a little bit of trouble off the ice. And that was kind of the end of my deal there. So, but it was fun, man. I remember watching you, when we were drafted. I hated playing against you because you were so good. You know what I mean? It was just that rivalry that we'd always had when we were younger. And then when you got drafted to Pittsburgh, I was just like, man, that's awesome. I was super, super proud of you. And then I followed your career off and on, and then, I saw, one of the biggest things that you were inducted into the Rochester Americans Hall of Fame, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
That's quite an honor.
That's such an honor. Anytime you're part of any, whatever, regardless of what the Hall of Fame, and again, Rochester, there's, there was such a long history of being in that city. And I really enjoyed my time there. It was it was just all of it. They were so interconnected with the Sabres and with the local community, and hockey really matters there. It's, really close to the Canadian border. So there is that. And again, I'm a little biased because I think Canadian hockey fans are the most passionate, and so there is that passion that's involved, and everybody's into the games. And so that was such an honor to be able to to be inducted into that Hall of Fame. And as I say, you're kind of pinch yourself a little bit because it just doesn't seem real, kind of thing, but it is very, very cool. And I played with a lot of great players, great coaches. There's a lot of guys I played with that played like whole careers in the NHL. So that obviously had a lot to do with it. Good timing and being in the right place. Playing with some good guys.
Did you ever play with Brad Rubicek?
You know what? We just missed each other. I remember he was in Lethbridge just prior to me. And I remember watching him actually. And it was a big reason, like him and Jason Ruff were playing in Lethbridge. And I remember going as a young guy, I wasn't sure whether I was going to go to college or play major junior. And my parents wanted me to go to college, and I was, like any young guy, probably like, no, I want to play hockey. I want to do the school thing. And they were lighting it up. They were outstanding in Lethbridge. And then he actually went to Rochester, but we just missed each other. But
with Rubicek, in the summertime in Calgary.
I met him a bit.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Pardon me?
Our summer.
Saying,
no, you go ahead, bud.
You cut out on me, bud.
When I was playing summer league in the summer league in Calgary, we played Division C, and Rubicek was on my team, and we just, how it was, just summertime. We just wanted to keep in shape and not really try. Well, man, I tell you, Division C, he's out there freaking 15 goals a game. I'm like, Drew, what are you doing, man? This is supposed to be fun. And then with Ruff, we have out of El Paso, we used to go to Phoenix and play in a men's league. And again, it was one of these things, if I'm going to do it, I don't want to play in A or B. I just want to go and have fun. So sure enough, we're in the B or C division. And we're playing Lethbridge. And I'm looking at this roster. I see Ruff on. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's 2 other 3 guys that played in the dub that we played with. And I was like, we're going to get flipping smoked. We ended up winning in overtime like 9-8. But it was just a good time. But Ruff was a monster, just a big kid, and we had a good time. Good guys.
Yeah.
Definitely good guys.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, great guys. They're great players too. Like Jason, I remember like Jason Ruff as well. I mean, great. I mean, big guy, could play. Like, and again, like, yeah, you know, the difference between guys that make it and guys that don't. Like he was, you know, and again, like a lot of it's timing, a lot of it's circumstance, and I mean, they were both real good players. So
Yeah, for sure. So now, kind of fast forward a little bit, you're with your family and in St. Mary's. Tell us a little bit about that venture and how's that going? You and I kind of got caught up about a year ago when you reached out and asked about if we had any girls, in particular my daughter. So timing was off a little bit there, but it was kind of nice to get that phone call or that email from you, and here we are. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing there and how that's going for you.
yeah, so I'm the director at this private Catholic school in Stockton, and St. Mary's. It's been around for 150 years. It's, you know, really well established within San Joaquin Valley, the area that we're in, just south of Sacramento and kind of east of San Francisco. And as a really good athletic academic school, you know, Ed Sprague would play baseball here. There's the Ed Sprague Fieldhouse. So there's multiple guys that have, you know, played in the majors, that, you know, D1 opportunity for baseball. They have a strong football program. We have one of the strongest girls basketball teams and players. I think Jordan Lee, her name is. I think she's top 5 in the country. So they have a long storied history of mixing and having academic and athletics work together. And I was approached in just around the pandemic there, if I wanted to help out with the boys side and to start a girls program. And I have 3 girls. One's graduating this year. Another one's a junior. Another one's going to be a freshman next year. So, you know, I struggled with the commitment on the pro side and coaching the pro game. Just, you know, not being able to be a part of it as much as I wanted to be, as far as what they were doing. And I saw a great opportunity to be able to still stay involved within the game. And I probably worked more than I did with the pro game, to be honest with you, just in regards to everything that's involved in building a program. So we have a girls program, and we play 18 AAA in Canada, 19 tier in the States. And then we have a boys program as well, which we play mostly in the Canadian Sports School League. We're a guest this year, and we've played in some 18U events, and then we're playing some 17U events. We're probably better slotted as a 17U program, just with the way the ages work with kids graduating and that. But, you know, this is my 3rd year, and it's the first year that we've been kind of dove into this Canadian Sports School League. And, you know, I think, you know, I don't know about you, but I never really had the opportunity to be able to combine the school with the hockey. It was more, you know, you were all in AAA, and you were, you know, school was just kind of a bit of an afterthought. And, you know, reflecting back on my experience, and, you know, I just think it's just such a great opportunity to be able to kind of combine the two. We've got, you know, practices at 2:30 in the afternoon. Kids have time to get their work done, meet with their teachers, and make those accommodations. So it's a slow process, but it's been a lot of fun being able to kind of help kids through the journey, because I think that there's maybe some people that are, not all, I mean, but, you know, maybe don't have the bigger picture perspective in regards to when these kids are going through high school, to be able to give themselves the best opportunity for success after hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique opportunity, you know, like kind of go through it with my daughter too. You know, she's going to prep school in Indiana, and, you know, they have 2 sheets and 5 teams between the boys and the girls. There's a 19U prep team girl, and then a 16U, and then they got 4 different boys teams, and they got 2 sheets, and they're, you know, middle of the day they're practicing, or they're they're out there when they don't have class or whatever that case may be. I always question my kid, like, are you ever in class? Because you always seem to be on the ice. But it's definitely a unique opportunity. I know you and I, Don, we spoke a little bit before this, and maybe working together a little bit and helping out, advance some of your players and things like that. So I think that would be a great opportunity for both of us, and we'll certainly keep that avenue open.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like I think, we're obviously still involved in the game. It's a fantastic way to be able to learn how to be a great teammate. The one thing I remember about you, Corey, how competitive you were, and like, those battles, and you think about guys that kind of move on and stay within the game, that competitive fire that you've got to quench. And you got to figure out how to do it within a group. And, obviously, you've been, and I consider guys that are staying within the game successful within hockey. And obviously you're one of those guys. And again, you want to help guide these, young girls and young guys to be able to have that outlet at the same time, to be able to, help the holistic, their holistic self, and just to be able to move on and use the game in the way that, I benefit from it, and hopefully they can benefit from it as well.
Yeah, well said. And I appreciate the kind words. And, I wish you the best, Tom. I know I've taken up a little bit of your time, and I certainly appreciate you jumping on. And I wish you the best the rest of the season. We'll certainly keep in touch. And, I know the listeners out there, guys, when you're watching this, make sure you guys, you Google Dominic Pittis, because he's got some serious highlights, and he's got a stellar career. So, Dom, congratulations on that. And again, thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate the opportunity, and any chance we can, we can work together. It's obviously it's great. I mean, the hockey world's small, right? And it's always awesome to be able to connect with guys that you battled against, and respect and everything else. So thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
You bet, bud. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember to like and follow. And remember, take care, comb your hair, and keep the stick on the ice.